Hello and welcome to the Radiate Wellness Podcast with your host, metaphysician, Reiki master, and hypnotherapist, Christy Clemens Hoffman. Each week, we will discover teachings, tips, and tools to radiate your best life ever with practitioners, authors, and luminaries to help you on your path. Wellness, joy, peace, abundance. What do you want to radiate?
Hello and welcome back to the Radiate Wellness Podcast. Today we radiate your soul's journey with my dear friend David Marsh, creator of the hit docuseries Journeys into the Soul. Dave is a lifelong seeker and a documentary filmmaker whose journey brought him to learning about hypnotherapy and how powerful of a tool it is for finding the answers within. David started exploring his personal path, which led him to create Exploring the Human Journey, a web series with conversations about life, death, and the spiritual world. To further understand the hypnotherapy modality, he became a certified practitioner and conducts sessions himself. He's also produced an award-winning documentary film called Adapting to Dive, which can be viewed on Amazon Prime. His other documentary projects include Healing from the Inside Out and Soul Blaze Your Life, Conversation with Master Teachers. Before we get too much further, I wanted to tell you about an important event that's coming up soon. The guest in today's episode and I are planning a world premiere June 14th, 2025, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Glenwood Arts Theater in Overland Park, Kansas. I hope you can make it. During this special event, which is a world premiere of season 2 of Journeys into the Soul, featuring the episode that I am in, and we will be holding a Q&A, and I will be doing a group regression. Tickets are $10, and they can be found at radiatewellnesscommunity.com. I hope to see you there, Glenwood Arts Theater, Saturday, June 14th, 4 to 6 p.m. It'll be fun. Welcome, Dave. Thanks for joining me today.
Christy, this is the best. I finally get to be on with you. I love your podcast. I love your thing. I'm so happy I get to be here.
I am too. It's great to see you, my friend. So, we're working on this world premiere screening of Journeys into the Soul. What is Journeys into the Soul about?
So I had this religious narrative I was given, and in 2015, I heard a podcast and somebody said, what if heaven and hell aren't places to go? What if heaven and hell are states of consciousness? And I went, oh, so everything starts with a what if, what if? So I started this idea of like, well, what if I'm not right? And so I Googled what happens after we die, found out there was a thing called a near-death experience. I was like, what? Because I was told you go to heaven or hell. It's all this whole thing is to get out of here and get to there. Sometime later, I got my hands on a book called Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. And he went after case studies where people were like, hey, I'm a spiritual being having human experience. I chose my life. I chose my body. I chose my parents. I'm not a victim. And I went, whoa, that's way different. And then at some point in time, I found out about Dolores Cannon and quantum healing hypnosis technique. And I said, I got to figure out this stuff and have a session. I had my own session. I had amazing, extraordinary epiphanies. And concurrent with this and this exploration, I also did an ayahuasca ceremony, which really brought up this intuitive stuff within me. So I said, I want to make a show about people having their own epiphanies, their own revelations. And I want it to be like a journey into the soul. What a great name. So that's how it got started. Started doing this in season 1 in 2022. And then in 2024, I reached out to Christy Clemens Hoffman. I said, hey, I would love for you to be on season 2. Here we are today.
And here we are today. It was such a fun time having those days of filming with you. I'm so behind the project. I think it's important. There's so many things that can happen in these sessions that there could be learning about other lifetimes. There could be learning about our karma and balancing, healing, emotional release, all types of things. And so having a series where, and now each episode focuses on a different hypnotist, hypnotherapist around the world. So we're seeing different techniques as well. It's not all QHHT. is it?
Yeah, season one highlighted Dolores Cannon's work and Michael Newton's work with Life Between the Lives hypnotherapy. And so I had QHHT practitioners, LBL facilitators. In season two, I love Dolores Cannon's work. And so I continued to have yourself and other practitioners on. And I went to Australia and I worked with Peter Smith. He worked with Michael Newton, helping him develop the Newton Institute. And then somewhere in the 2010s, he said, "Hey, Michael, I have something I want to develop. It's called the quantum consciousness experience." Michael said, "I love it. Keep going. See if you can take my work deeper." And so he's got a process which he does that I kind of show and highlight in season two. So what I love about it, though, is it doesn't really matter who or what or where. It's all this same place. It's this inner wisdom, and there's this outer wisdom, and it's all within. It's all around. It's all without. And the answers come from within. That's what I love about this show.
Yeah, we tap directly to our higher source, our higher consciousness to bring out answers on at everything. That's what I love about this show is that every episode is focusing on a different path, a different journey of client's soul. What are some of the highlights from the show?
The show's extraordinary because it's kind of like part travel show and part meet somebody new. And then here's a client that has a question or a problem or something they want to solve, and then meet the practitioner or the facilitator that's going to help them with this problem. It's really interesting. You meet these two powerful characters, a client and a person that facilitates the session, and then you see the process and you're like, oh, and then as the viewer, you're eating your popcorn going, oh, I remember he said something about this. Let's see if it comes up. And sure enough, in a session, this thing comes up and you're just like, what is going to happen next? And then someone like yourself will say, can I speak to the higher self? And he'll go, well, yes, you can. And then it kind of switches the energy. And then you see this wisdom coming from them, this place of their magnificence, and they have these revelations and understandings, and at the end you're like, oh my god, he was looking for this thing and he found it. And then the coolest thing is I do a 2-week follow-up, a Zoom call, and he'll say, hey, it's been 2 weeks since my session, man, I've had a lot of time to think about this, and this is what came up for me. So it's fun to see how we're all on this cosmic soul journey and we get little pieces, and I believe we learn from each other's stories. So that's one thing that really resonates with me.
No, absolutely. Yeah, every episode of season one, I learned something new. And every episode is so different because every session is so different. We can ask about soul journey, we can ask about purpose and career and relationship, all types of things, but everything coming together to affect the current life and the current client. And it's amazing what's been coming out in these sessions. So you're a practitioner as well.
So I did the level 1 QHHT training, and you know what Julia Cannon has taught is you get everything in level 1, and then you go to level 2 and you learn a little bit of how to tune it in, then you go to level 3, and that's a real process of you got to know what you're doing, you got to make sure you hold Dolores' standard. So I have a great appreciation for it. I have done sessions. I've done probably 60 sessions myself. And I love to see that transformation. And because I love that, I'm not just some guy that was like, I want to make a show. I'm a guy that says, I want to watch a show. Where is it? I couldn't find it. So I'm like, well, maybe if that thing that I want to do in the world isn't there, maybe I'm supposed to do it. So I just started doing it. I didn't have anybody saying, hey, this is something you should do. It came up within me. In fact, I had my own QHHT session, and what came up is you should do that heart's desire. And so that's how Journeys into the Soul got started.
Amazing. So you weren't always a filmmaker. It's like that. You didn't start out that way, did you?
No, I was a householder, meaning I had wife and kids and business. I went from being a young person into the army. Then I got a degree in biology, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a doctor. I started installing underground sprinkler systems. So I was a landscape guy, dug holes for a living, and it was my own business. I did well. But at some point I'm like, this isn't creative. I want to do creativity, how the yard looks, so be it. But I was like story and music and scripts and things I wanted to do. I always wanted to write. And when you're a young person and you're not told you can do anything you want, you're told you have to be in this certain narrative so you can get to heaven. It's kind of limited. So when I began to deconstruct, I'm like, oh, I want to tell stories. I want to bring this creativity. So I was 49 years old when I started going, oh, I want to be a filmmaker. And, I've got mentorships and I've done some things to help me progress as a creative. And now at the grand old age of 55, here I am being a filmmaker and going, I'm David Marsh, the filmmaker. So it's fun just to see the journey.
Speaking of journeys, you have traveled extensively for this. A great way to round it off.
Yeah. The fun part about this is I get to email somebody and say, I have an idea, and they say yes. I'm like, you guys are crazy. There's no proof that this is going to work. So in season one, there's a powerful woman that lives in Ireland named Trina Sheeran. And I had done an episode, put something on Facebook. Hey, I'm starting to film this thing. She friended me. We had a chat. I go, I need to talk to you. I found out she's a QHHT level 3 practitioner. She's also a Newton LBL facilitator. And I'm like, you're like the person that knows the both worlds that I'm interested in. And she said, come to Europe. She said, make this a global show. And I said, I'm terrified to go to Europe. There's no way I'm going to do that. She said, quit being a sissy, get over to Europe. And she helped me connect. She taught me that there's an airline called Ryanair. You can get an airplane ticket to all these countries for generally under $100. I'm like, oh. And the coolest thing about this show is it's a community event. People are like, hey, I know you're here in this country. You don't know anything. You're going to stay. I've got a guest room. You can eat dinner with my family. We'll do the session. I'll give you a ride to the client. So everybody just helped, whether I was in London or Denmark or Italy or Croatia or Malta or Spain, everybody just helped. And so that was season one. Season two, I went to Australia and New Zealand. And again, people were like, we get it. We're going to help you do this. And here's a place for you to stay. And let me take you out to dinner. And I mean, it's just, people are so amazing. I love this process.
And that's what I love about, I've only seen season one. And yes, I've seen a sneak preview of my episode and, another episode in season two. But I love season one. It's like the city where you are, the country where you are becomes another character.
Yeah.
And so it's part travelogue as well. It's just
Yeah.
beautifully done, I've got to say. And you really know your stuff too. That's very, very cool. What are some highlights from season one that you think people could really enjoy? I don't want to take too much of your time, but I would like to ask you a few simple favors. First of all, please rate, review, and share this podcast wherever you're listening. It sounds like a simple little thing, and it is, but it has a huge impact for us because it helps other people find us in the podcasting algorithms. I don't know how it works, but I do know that it helps a lot. Next, if you would subscribe or follow wherever you're listening, whether that's YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, wherever you're listening, just hit subscribe or follow, and that helps you and it helps us. It helps you because then you receive notifications when we have a new episode that's out. It helps us because, again, algorithm magic, I don't know what happens, but it helps. And then finally, you can support our podcast in a tangible way by going to radiatewellnesscommunity.com/podcast and then click on support the show. Now, we have a new feature too. We are now on Patreon. You can find us on Patreon. You can also find the link to Patreon when you go to radiatewellnesscommunity.com/podcast. So on Patreon, for $3 a month or $5 a month, you can support your metaphysical and spiritual growth. You can learn about upcoming guests, and you can get early and ad-free versions of the shows. So please support us. This podcast is free for you to listen, but we have costs, and quite frankly, they come out of my pocket. So if you like this content, if you get a lot out of it, please see what you can do to give back. Thank you so much.
Boy, there are so many powerful things. There's people that see a lifetime as a dragon keeper. There's people that see a lifetime that was a difficult assignment and they got murdered in that lifetime, and they see how they were here to help another soul in their soul group have the experience to get over anger. You're like, what? There's a guy that goes into kind of God mode, and he sees that he's creating everything and he's part of the world and the horse and the trees and the water, and it's just all one thing thinging itself. There were so many beautiful and powerful epiphanies. I mean, I could go on and on because every episode, it's like I'm doing an episode for my friends now. The client and the facilitator, they're my buddies now because we love each other. I'm not just telling someone's story, I'm telling my friend's story. Oh my God, it's so powerful.
It is, you have the coolest job, Dave. I mean, I swear, you've got the coolest job. And one thing that really stuck out from it, there are so many great highlights in season one, but the one where the guy says, "My shoes don't have holes."
Oh my God, that was Scott. That what a powerful one. He was like, I'm a business owner. I kind of get complainy. Some things don't work right. I have to pay this. I have the guys. Sometimes they don't do good work. So he kind of come into the, you know what? I just don't know, man. What he
Satisfied.
kind of had this ungrateful kind of thing, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes I can feel like that too. Kind of that victim mentality. And so he has this experience. He sees this little boy himself as a lifetime as a little boy in the streets of London. And then he goes back, and the facilitator, Ella Meek Drucker, she says, why don't you go back and talk to the little boy? So now current Scott is going and talking to a little boy, and he says, well, what do you want? He goes, I want to give him my coat because the little boy was cold. And he goes, oh, thank you. And then she says, well, what does the boy have to give you? And he goes, oh. She goes, what is it? He doesn't have anything, so he gave me his shoes, these little wraps around his feet. And he goes, could I buy a pair of shoes? Yeah, I could probably buy two. He says, but that's the only thing he had to give me. And he gave me. He says, those are the most precious things to me. And every day I'm reminded how good my life is because I have shoes. My shoes don't leak.
Gratitude, huge lesson. But you can tell somebody, start a gratitude journal. You need a gratitude practice. Gratitude is the basis of so many things. But until you see that, until
Yeah.
you live it, and sometimes people come out of these sessions and they feel like they've made everything up. That emotion, you can't make that up.
Yeah, I love it when people say, hey, I watched my episode some months later and went, oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. Thanks for making that episode for me because we forget things.
We do. I know. It's amazing. So, what are some highlights from season two that you're looking forward to bringing to the world?
One of the most powerful experiences, I got to be in New Zealand with a man that his roots are the ancient Maori culture, and he does the haka. If you've ever seen the haka, it's the ha, 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 and it's so powerful. And at the end of the episode, I said, man, you just got to go. His name is Heath Casely. He's a powerful healer. And I said, you just got to go, do your thing. And I would just, the power and the energy of this man just going, and he has this powerful epiphany. He said, you are the power. He's always looking for something to, you should do this, you should do that. You are the power. Your internal intuition, you are the power. And it is amazing. That was definitely one of the highlights for me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Season one is out there already. Where can people
Yeah.
see this one?
If you go to the website journeysintothesoul.com, you'll see everything there. I've got the trailer for season two. If this is being viewed after June 14th, it's out. We're going to be releasing everything on June 14th. Now, I have to tell your audience how fun it's been to work with you. So, Christy and I recorded something. A while later, I produce it. Hey, watch it. She goes, great. When do I get to share it? You have to wait until I'm done with all 20 episodes. She goes, well, when's that going to be? I go, I haven't even gone to Australia yet. Let me do that first. So I get back from Australia and she's like, okay, when are we going to release it? I said, hold on. I got jet lag. I need to get some rest for 1 or 2 days. And then I have 10 more episodes to produce before I'm done. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to rent a theater. How about June 14th? I'm like, oh my God, you are such a pit bull. You are determined, and you lit a fire under me. And I was like, edit and music and tracks and color correction and audio engineering and I got it done. I'm ready to release it. And because of you, we're having the world premiere of Journeys into the Soul season 2 from Kansas City in your theater. And we're going to release the whole series. It will be available online on my website. Thank you for lighting a fire under my butt.
Thank you for setting the kindling, right? I know. Yeah, patience is not my strong suit, but you did it. You got all of the episodes ready to release June 14th. So
Yeah.
Kansas City premiere of this one little episode. It's the premiere of the entire season, and that is
Yeah.
so exciting. And where can people find season 2?
So what was fun is season one, I put on an independent distributor site and they said, hey, somebody wants a licensing agreement with you, but we won't tell you who it is until you agree to their terms. We agreed to terms and they go, it's Gaia TV. And I go, finally, I get to have a show on Gaia TV. I love Gaia. If you've never heard of it, it's a network. It's kind of like Netflix for consciousness and conversations about. Yeah. So I was like, I cannot wait. My show's on Gaia TV. So if you're a Gaia subscriber, you can go there. Season one is there. You can watch them all. So season two, we're expecting is going to be there. Gaia was like, hey, let us know when you're done with season two. I'm sending them the masters. I'm currently, after you create something, you got to go back and look at everything and engineer it to make it sure it's good. So we're doing that. We're in the final process. We don't have a release date for Gaia TV, but we're pretty sure if you're a Gaia subscriber, you're going to be able to see season two as well.
But it's also going to be on your website, journeysintothesoul.com.
Yeah, Journeys into the Soul. I'm able to host it. I am the copyright holder, is the technical term. So, because I'm the licensor, I will be able to host it on my website. So, anybody anywhere in the world can go on to journeysintothesoul.com. You can download it. We have a $20 price point. You can watch all the episodes, 10 and a half hours. And you can watch these more than once and go, oh, yeah, that one slipped by the goalie. I needed to hear that today. I hear comments all the time. People go, I had to watch this episode 3 times. There were so many great, rich things in there, little gold nuggets everywhere.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I've gone back and watched certain episodes over and over again because you do. Just like when you're having a session, you listen to your recording from your session and you pick up on things that you didn't pick up on the first time, second time, third time. There's always new things that are going to jump out to you when you're ready. And when that scaffolding has been set for retention of that next nugget, and it's all a bunch of nuggets. And then what is the future of Journeys into the Soul? What's coming next?
Well, we've got some ideas in development. We've got an idea for Journeys into the Soul, first-time experiencers. Somebody who's like, yeah, I don't know. I've heard about this, but body language, crossed arms, is it real? You can't come into it skeptical saying, this is BS, it won't work, because that might happen. But you have to be like, I don't know. I'm kind of a tough person to crack, Oh, okay. Well, let's see what comes up. Do you remember what you had for breakfast? Yeah, I had 2 eggs and a piece of toast. Great. That's all you had to do was go back in your memory. Now close your eyes and do that. It's not that hard. So someone like yourself, a skilled facilitator practitioner, is going to be able to help people who's never done this before. And there's also another aspect. There's other ways to get into that deep state of relaxation, altered state of consciousness. There are entheogens. We have practitioners that work with MDMA and ketamine to help people get into these spaces, and those are incredible experiences. I do believe that regardless whether you're in a deep state of meditation, if you're having some sort of a plant medicine ceremony, the answers are within. When we get out of the mindset that I have the answers out there and I have to try to find it out there, then we have to change that. And that's what I love about quantum healing hypnosis technique, Dolores Cannon's work. I love you as a facilitator. You help people see their own revelations.
It's so powerful. I also do readings. I'm a psychic medium. And so I can tell you another lifetime, or you can relive it. What's going to be more powerful is when you see it yourself. And so I see sometimes QHHT and other forms of spiritual hypnosis being kind of like ayahuasca without the vomiting.
Yeah.
And we can tap into that inner knowledge anytime, but mostly when we're in this altered state and we're shutting off the monkey mind and we're getting to that higher consciousness, and it really helps facilitate it. Yeah. Is there anything that you think people should know about your work, Journeys into the Soul, or what's coming next that we haven't talked?
Well, what I want people to know is when I am showing someone that is a level 3 QHHT practitioner, this is a person that has really refined and honed their skills. And Christy Clemens Hoffman is one of the world's absolute best practitioners. If you find yourself desiring to do that, go to Kansas City, schedule your own session. I witnessed firsthand your brilliance. I watched you work with Roger, your client, and there were times when he would start to just be like, oh, and he's talking, and you're like, okay, and then you would ask a question and you'd get him back into that, Oh, and his revelations and his epiphanies were there, and you helped him guide into that space. It's so amazing to watch you as a practitioner do your work.
And this was not a paid comment.
Venmo me later.
No, Ron had a great session, and I knew that when he came in the first time that he's such a seeker. He is so inquisitive, and he will not rest until he finds answers. And life can be challenging, and he's certainly had his challenges, but he's always going to want to dive deeper and deeper and get to the essence of things. And so I knew he'd be a great subject for the show. And yeah, he had a wonderful session, unlocked some things that were deep, deep inside, which every episode that you've done, Dave, you find the moments, the gold, you find the heart of every client, of every practitioner, of every session. You find the nuggets that are going to be transformative. And just like Dolores's work that she put out there, and Alba Weinman and all these wonderful hypnotists and hypnotherapists that get their work out there, they have a way of just putting things out there for mass consumption that are going to be the most transformative. So they're going to put out the moments that are going to be most helpful for everybody. And that's what your show does. So you focus on the things that are going to be transformative to anybody who's watching it.
Yeah, it's got to be a collective. I really wanted to watch a show about people that had sessions, but nobody wants to watch a 3-hour show, watching somebody, because as you know, there's times when it might be 2 or 3 minutes before someone tells you something. You're just like, all right, that's not a show. That's an experience of the person. So I was like, well, how? So I made a 30-minute episode, and it doesn't take an hour. It's a 30-minute episode. You meet the people, you see the experience, you watch the interview, so they set their intentions. And first and foremost, it has to be entertaining. So I really make sure it's something that you're like, oh, this is entertaining. I want to keep watching. And it does move forward. There are messages. I do think that this whole experience is about the soul journeying. I think my soul is having this journey. And I wanted my soul to have these observations of other people and learn. So I'm like in warp speed here as a soul, because I get to hear your session and people in different countries and different cities. I get to hear all these things. And then I get to go through and produce this thing. And I jokingly tell people the show's really about me having my own soul journey. I'm just learning from all these people. So, and then let's share it with people, because I have that skill set. So I can produce something and go, hey, everybody, look what I learned. And they're like, oh my God, this is so fun.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, it's basically by Dave for Dave, but you get to put out these truths, these solid nuggets of wisdom that are going to be transformative to anybody who watches it. And I cannot recommend this series highly enough. You will learn something every single episode. You're going to learn something useful, helpful.
Yeah, it's always about you. Everything's an oracle. So when you see something, you're like, how does it impact me? It's not about the other people. It's about you. So that's what the show's about. So the show's about you, the person watching this, you, the viewer, the listener. It's about you and how you show up and appear. And then you see somebody else and you're like, oh, there's a mirror. I too have that. And there's a lot of like, oh yeah, I too have that. Thank you. Me too.
Wow. Yeah. Doing this work, it's amazing how similar we all are. We think that we're so different, but we're really.
Yeah, you held common themes. People are like, you take things too serious. Just slow down and enjoy the ride. Have some more fun. We're like, I got to do this, and I have to get my 401k, and I have to take care of my family and whatever. Yeah, you do. And make sure you take time to love yourself. There's just so many powerful messages.
That is a common theme. Yeah, that and meditate, 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 right? So these common themes come up and you're like, okay, yeah, I've been hearing this all along, but now when it comes through my voice from my higher self, maybe I'll listen. Maybe I'll actually do it. Yeah, this show is fantastic. I am so excited to be part of it, so humbled to be part of it. You've done an amazing job of getting the nuggets and the kernels out there for people and making a beautiful, entertaining show that people want to watch and making it available to everybody. And I cannot wait for everybody to see season 2 of Journeys into the Soul.
There's no chance meetings, and we're all in this together, and let's have as much fun as possible and let's learn from each other. It's awesome.
So if you're in the Kansas City area, please come to the Glenwood Fine Arts Theater at 95th and Mission, and you can get tickets to this event. It's June 14th, 4 to 6 p.m. And you can get tickets for that at the Radiate Wellness Community website. I will put the link in the show notes and a link to Journeys into the Soul. And we'll see you June 14th, where Dave and I are going to do a Q&A, much like this, but more. And Roger, the client, will be there as well. And then I will do a group past life regression, just so everybody can have a sense of what it might feel like to have a session, offering discounts, doing a drawing, winning prizes. It's going to be a fun event. I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you for creating this event, and thank you for the things you do in the world. I cannot wait for people to see how much fun it is to work with you in person.
Back at you, because you are so much fun to work with, and I can't wait to show that off. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dave.
It's been fun. I cannot wait for people to experience their own soul journey. Enjoy the ride.
Don't know what to watch next? Decisions. Well, we've got some suggestions. You can click this little video here and watch that. It's something that we think you're going to like. If you like the last one, you're going to like that one too. You can also click on the subscribe button. And if you do that, then you'll get notifications whenever we have a new video up. Win-win, right?